Welcome to episode 25 of the Mental Dietitian Podcast. I'm your host, Ahren Lynch-potter, and today is number 25, episode 25, a quarter of a century. And just being honest, I had a shit day today. Holy shit. In this episode, I was like, it was one of those days, it was a bad day. It was one of those days where it's like, I don't know how I'm going to record this podcast. The feelings were not there. But you can't always listen to your feelings when there's things that need to be done. Because I made a commitment to myself that I committed to this podcast. I committed to the people that are listening to it. There's too many people that listen to this that get value from it for me to be like, you know what? I had a bad day. Therefore, I'm not going to release a podcast this week. I really learned today about listening to your intuition. Just very briefly, I sell cars as a living. There was this woman who applied who seemed kind of sketchy. She ended up getting a co-signer, and basically the co-signer that she ended up getting was fraud. Full-blown fraud, like full-blown stolen identity. We delivered the vehicle as a Mustang. And we found out the person whose identity was stolen called the dealership where I work and was like, I didn't get this Mustang. So not only did I lose $5,000, which was the commission for that particular Mustang, I also could have been on the hook for $50,000 if we could not recover the Mustang. It's a possibility. So when you're facing that, it's not the easiest thing, especially when you have a lot of fear around money, which comes from your childhood. It brings up all this stuff. It brings up all your trauma. Oh, fuck. I am drinking a stevia. I'm not drinking a stiff drink, even though I kind of get it. You ever have those days where you're like, I kind of get it how people run away from their problems with substances. I kind of understand it. It's sad and it's not the right way to do it, but I get it. I get it. Sometimes it's easy to numb out from those feelings and easier to run away and easier not to face them. But there's always a lesson in facing those feelings and facing these hard things in life. And that one was to really listen to my intuition. I knew there was something weird about this woman from the very first time I spoke to her. And life always makes sense when you look back. You can always connect the dots when you look in reverse. And looking back on it now, I'm very glad it happened. I'm glad this happened today. I'm glad I lost $5,000 commission. Because money is a renewable resource. You can always make more of it. Whatever. Shit happens. But the podcast today is about when you have these bad things happen to you in your life, when these things go wrong, when shit hits the fan. What do? What are some actionable steps that you can take when it feels like everything's turning to shit? Number one, sounds stupid and sounds obvious, but eat healthy food. Today, I found myself going down a negative spiral, and I realized that I didn't eat all day. And it's like I didn't even give a shit about eating. I wanted to kind of sit. I wanted to sit in the shit. It's kind of like that saying, if you're going through hell, don't get a motel. Don't stay there. So if you're having a bad day, step number one, eat a healthy meal with ingredients that have lived at some point. What do I mean by that? Don't eat ice cream. Don't eat Cheetos. Don't eat Snickers bars. Eat something that has lived before, some vegetables, a good quality meat source, like grass-fed beef or free-range chicken or something like that, with some nice organic vegetables, some carrots, some zucchini, some peppers, some broccoli, some broccolini, whatever it may be. Eat a healthy meal. It's mind-blowing what it does to you. Mind-blowing. Reason why, scientifically, 90% of your serotonin is released from your gastrointestinal tract, from your gut. If people really understood that, and if that was taught in school, imagine teachers were like, hey, 90% of how you feel and your happiness will come from what you eat every day, kids. So put down that chocolate bar, which is going to give you a massive insulin spike, and eat something that will make you happy. And if you're happy, you're more likely to do things in your life and not sit around and think about why you are unhappy. So that'd be step one. If you're having a shitty day, no matter how shit it is, force yourself to have a good quality meal. I did that today and I immediately felt a little bit better. Another thing I would recommend is if you've got somebody around, anybody at all, try and get a hug. Try and get a hug. If you got nobody around, hug yourself like this. It's crazy what it does psychologically. You even rub your shoulders a little bit. It's a soothing thing. It's a, I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm all right. And I know it sounds silly, and I know that there's probably guys listening to this, you're like, I'm not hugging myself, bro. Shut the fuck up. Give yourself a hug. Stop being such a ding dong. Hugs are awesome. Hugs from other people are awesome. Hugs from yourself are awesome. There's a lot of science behind that too. Look up science of a hug, why they're so good for you. They're amazing for you. Number 3, I just went and did it. It wasn't very fun because I haven't gone in 3.5 weeks properly. I went to jiu-jitsu. I had ringworm on the back of my head, which is kind of like a skin thing that you can sometimes get from doing jiu-jitsu where somebody was dirty on the mats or whatever. But I went and exercised. That's number 3. Exercise, move your body. There's a lot of emotions that get stored in our bodies, especially anxiety, especially fear, especially anger. And when you move your body, it allows you to release all of it. I went to jiu-jitsu. I felt a lot better afterwards. I got my ass kicked. I felt rusty, even though it only took 3 weeks off. I felt rusty. I got choked a bunch. I didn't have a good session skill-wise, but I had a good session because I really didn't want to go. I went anyway. I moved my body. I sweated a bit. I was around a group of people that were wanting to better themselves. And that's the powerful thing about exercise. Whenever you go to a gym, whenever you go to a group fitness class or a yoga class or a martial arts class, every person there is choosing to better themselves. Some people there might be running away from their demons or have a lot of anger, but they're channeling it in a very positive outlet. They're not drinking, they're not doing drugs, they're not gambling, they're not getting dopamine releases from going through Tinder and seeing all these different guys or girls or whatever. They're in a positive place, using that as a tool to help themselves. So they're the 3 major things that are practical steps, the 3 big things you can really do. Eat a healthy meal. Get some kind of hug from somebody, even if it's yourself. Number 3, exercise. Get a sweat on. Move your body. You only have one place to live. It's funny how people will spend $100,000 on a truck, or they'll spend $50,000 on a vehicle, whatever it may be, that might last 7 to 8 years. But they won't invest $100 a month on a gym membership or $150 a week on some good quality groceries and good quality ingredients to eat healthy when you're going to live in your body for your entire life. Like, you've only got one place to live. You've only got one place to live. Look after it. Look after your body. It's beautiful. It got you this far. And then there's some people that probably hate their bodies out there. They'll look at it and feel disgusted. I don't know what to say to those people. Move your body anyway. You'll start to love it, especially when it starts doing things for you that you couldn't do before. But this episode is about when you have those days like I had today, just one of those days. It's just, you got to do what you can control. When the world feels like it's coming down on you and it feels like, fuck, man, like that kind of can't catch a break mentality can sneak up on you. That victim mentality. Why me? Why did this happen to me? Hey, listen, life happens for you. It doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. There's always a lesson. Anytime something happens in life, there's always a lesson. My lesson, which was beautiful, listen to your fucking intuition. It's right. I remember going down a hill in a shopping trolley, a shopping cart, whatever you want to call them. We should call them trolleys in Australia, and in North America, you call them shopping carts. Went down a hill, and I kind of started going towards this parked car. I put my arm out straight because I didn't want to smash the front of the trolley into the car. Broke my arm. I just completely shattered my humerus bone. Wasn't funny. Get it? Oh, that was terrible. Even my sense of humor is off today. Anyway, it wasn't funny. And before I jumped into that cart, that trolley, there was something in my brain that's like, don't get in the fucking shopping cart. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And it's like this sick feeling in my stomach. And that was the very first time that I really felt my intuition and really be like, okay, I got to listen to that. And today I got that lesson again. So listen to your intuition, listen to your gut. It's more intelligent than you can even comprehend, more intelligent than your brain, more intelligent than your mind. Just a lot of us are so disconnected, we don't actually have the chance to listen to it. But yeah, I didn't want to make it a really long episode today because honestly, I didn't feel like I had a lot of value to add. But that's just me. Of course, I have value to add. You all have value to add. Don't let the stories or the bad days or the bad weeks or whatever, don't let them stop you from thinking that you have value in this world. And by communicating transparently like I am, that somebody might listen to this and somebody might get something out of it. So if you're having a shitty day, remember those things. Number one, eat a good meal. Force yourself. Even if you have to order it from somewhere, get a nice, good quality meat. I would highly recommend making it. It's something about making a meal that is just, it's very good. Highly recommend making a delicious meal, getting a hug, asking somebody for a hug if you have somebody around. If you don't have anybody around, give yourself a hug. Wrap your arms around yourself, close your eyes, rub your shoulders, breathe into your stomach, and breathe out your mouth. Breathe in through your nose, push your stomach out, breathe out through your mouth. What does that do? Parasympathetic nervous system. It allows your body to calm down, allows you to feel into your body. Breaths like that. Relax your shoulders, have your arms around you. It'll make you feel safe. Sometimes you don't have other people there to look after you. And in reality, it's your job to look after yourself. Number three, sweat. Move your body. Do something that gets you back into your body and out of your head. Sometimes things happen in life and there's nothing you can do about them today. Don't let a bad day turn into a bad 2 days and turn into a bad week because you are not doing the things that you control. Do as much as you can control. And if you can't control it, don't worry about it. It's like me worrying about things that I just cannot control. I can't control certain things. And to think that I can will cause me a lot of suffering and a lot of misery. So remember those three things. I love you guys. I hope this episode helps. I didn't feel like I was on my A game today, but I showed up. And you go show up in your own life when you have a bad day, and you'll always look back and be grateful that you did. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.